Oh, that's amazing. I love that so much. Dude, I love that so much. That's amazing. Where on earth did you find that?
Amazon.
Oh my gosh. That's the best.
It's a full suit.
It's a full suit?
It's a full suit. I haven't tried it on yet, though.
You have to go running around and knocking on kids' doors and going,
I'm going to walk down to the mailbox. Oh my gosh. The funny thing is, because you couldn't see it, is my expression under the mask is this.
And he's just like, I'm the Grinch.
Yeah, you can't see my
amazing.
I got hair in my mouth all over the place, but it was like, as I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot, but I can barely see, I can barely see myself in the screen. So,
oh my
because I
gosh.
didn't have my glasses on,
so you can't see what's happening either.
No,
brilliant.
It was kind of, you have balls on your face.
Wow, that's like the rudest something somebody has ever said to me ever. Wow, Chris, this is a PG show.
All of this is
get the balls out of my face. Oh.
You got to be gentle with them though, because they can get hurt.
The balls. Never flick the balls.
Oh.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, it's gonna be a silly one. Welcome to the best thing you've watched this week. Probably just this segment bit will hopefully get you in the spirit of Christmas, because it's our Christmas thing special. It's kind of a special. It's going to be shorter. The audio and the video is going to be the same, because we also deserve a little bit of a break. So I hope you appreciate what we're doing for you right now as I fling balls out. This is really annoying, actually. You play conkers.
Yeah.
Mini table
make
tennis.
Your eyes water. You're just hitting yourself in the nose all this time.
Stop hitting me. I'm bullying myself. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
So it's a shorter show, but we do have some interesting things to talk about. We'll probably just stuff everything in there, from our reviews to the things that we want to talk about Christmassy to what's happening next week. As always, we do, and I said do, movie quiz quotes, and Chris has been doing them for the last few weeks. I think he's probably going to do it this week as well. We're going to talk about who won. And our Patreon is Krampus. It's Krampusy. So I'm excited to talk about that. And particularly, we're going to do an ending explained, I think. We're both going to have our theories as to what we think went on there. So if you want to support us in the Patreon universe, then for those that are already supporting us, thank you so much. For those that are new, thank you so much. And if you are here for the first time, check out Chris's channel. He has 51,000 subscribers. I'm still catching up. I feel like I need to be a real YouTuber. I'm not quite there yet, but yeah, thank you for your support. Should we start, Chris?
Yes. Happy holidays to you all. Okay.
Never put your balls in your mouth.
Oh man! All right.
I swear this is not whiskey.
Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Actually, it's closer to 5 o'clock for you than it is for me.
That's true. Very true.
All right. Well, hey. So last week on the quiz, I will give us the answers, and we had one person, a brand new person on my channel, that got 2 out of the 3. One Lily Clark. Congratulations. Nice. You got 2 out of the 3. That is outstanding. Ruben, you had one that got 2 out of 3 also, right?
Yeah, Pushpa. I think he did last week as well, did 2. And so he's trying, he's going to get there. I believe in you, Pushpa. You're going to get that 3, but you got the 2 out of the 3, which is great.
Nice. Right on. Well, Nostromo, our tried and true, has come back and got all 3 of the correct answers. And they are Blade Runner, Breaking Bad, and While You Were Sleeping.
Breaking Bad was mean. Because I was like, movies, and then everybody in the comments is like, yeah, that's no. I was like, yes, it is. Damn it.
See, the thing that I love about these and I hate about these all at the same time is that they niggle in the back of my head like I know what that is, and then it's just completely gone. So, all right, I have 3 plus a bonus one.
Ooh, okay.
For this week because
I'm
it
excited.
is a special. So, okay, are we ready? I got to get back a little bit because I might get a little loud for my microphone.
Okay.
Oh, you're doing a drum roll
ready.
there, a ball roll. Little girl, don't touch that squirrel's nuts. That's not the quote. That's not the quote for the quiz, but that's just an extra bonus one there for you because hey, it's appropriate. Okay. Anyway, all right. Are we ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Okay. Yep. I said, brr, it's getting cold in here. There must be some clovers in the atmosphere.
Oh, wait, what? Clovers?
Okay. Yeah.
I thought I knew what it was. 90s classic movie in some of my favorite actresses.
Yeah,
but
you're
now,
right, I think.
Okay, I'm probably right.
No, I
I'm
think
probably
you're right.
Cool.
Yeah,
I like this. Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I still want to go, brr.
Yeah, well, and there's well, I'm not going to say it because there's a whole opening scene.
Give it away.
And,
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Number 2, I am here to tell the story, and I am here for the food.
Nice. Recent one. Recent one? I know.
Seriously?
Yeah, no.
You do know it. You're good. It's going to hurt if you don't get this.
No, I know it. We just spoke about it.
Okay. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
That one might have stumped me. But I have an idea. Okay.
Number 4, the bonus round for us.
Ooh, bonus.
Because this is holiday.
Okay. Theme.
Only one thing in the world could have dragged me away from the soft glow of electric sex gleaming in the window.
Nice. Okay. I have an idea as well, I think. Yeah.
Oh, well, let us know in the comments. Tell us the answers. Hopefully they're not too hard. And then we will, in the new year, we will give you the shout outs to who was correct. That's just distracting and weird.
Okay, it's time for a question?
Yes.
Okay. What is one Christmas film that everybody loves that you don't like?
Ooh. Oh, that's easy for me, actually.
Okay, cool.
And I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this out
Well,
loud,
I'll
sure.
get a lot of hate for mine, so don't worry. We're in this together.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Chris, no, I can't be with you on that one. I'm leaving. What did you just do?
I can't stand the movie.
Is it because it's very depressing and then you only get the little bit of happiness in like the last 10 minutes? Or was it just like too slow?
Well,
was it the whole thing?
But see, it's a Christmas Carol, right? Sort of. I mean, it's sort of. It's loosely there. Some of it's depressing. I don't get the attraction on there. Now, not from the filmmaking standpoint. I mean, Frank Capra did some amazing things within this. But for me, no. And I'm a huge Jimmy Stewart fan too. But no, I just, I
interesting
don't.
that you don't like that one.
Yeah, no.
Wow. Okay.
Not at all.
Nice.
How about you?
Well, let us know in the comments what you guys are saying, and do you think A Wonderful Life is crap? Because I don't. But then again, I've only watched it twice ever, so I don't go back to it. So that's interesting.
Well,
mine is Bad Santa. I don't find it funny at all.
Oh, I will totally agree with you there. I don't find that to be an enjoyable movie at all.
That has a huge cult following, and I just don't get it. I'm just like, what is this? This isn't funny at all. In fact, that depresses me more. It doesn't put me in the Christmas spirit. Yeah.
No, not at all. No.
All right. Well, definitely let us know in the comments. Give us a couple of examples. I'm sure there's a few. I know a few people hate Die Hard. They just find it really boring. And, like, that's fine to be wrong. But, like, everybody's wrong sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay. We should probably stop upsetting people and get into our best thing we watched this week.
Yeah. 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 So I have two.
Okay.
Because when we're recording this, it is earlier in the week.
It is early in the week, yes.
But which do I want to talk about first? Because I think they're both on your list as well.
They are.
So, I don't know. Do you want to talk about Jack Ryan?
Yeah, sure. Let's do Jack Ryan. Yeah.
Okay. Like, I'm a fan of the series, so this has been great. No, season 2 was okay for me. I don't think I enjoyed season 2 as much. I don't think it was
nearly as good as 1. Yeah.
No. And season 3, though, eerily ripped from the headlines, where we have Russia creating. I mean, we're going to stay away from spoilers. It just came out, so I mean, even though you're watching this like less than a week after it came out. Anyway, Russia has developed a weapon and then thrust kind of just global unease and unrest. Jack Ryan has discovered it, but because of circumstances, he's now kind of on the run. A little bit like Mission Impossible there. And he's trying to solve it from his side. We have the CIA who they're working a whole bunch of different angles. You have all of that political machinations that are happening in international areas, not only with Russia but surrounding countries. And then one of the things that made me so happy is James Greer. Wendell Pierce's character of James Greer is very prominent in this one. And while he is not doing a ton of action or anything like that, his is the verbal sparring and the power that he comes.
Because Jack in this one doesn't have a lot of dialogue.
No, he doesn't.
But Krasinski in the action role, I thought was excellent.
Well, that action in this show was wonderful, and some
they
of it
stepped
really
it up for season 3 as well.
They did, and I loved how they would go from action piece to letting our guard down to then like, boom, more action, and you're like, whoa, okay, I'm excited now. And these were big action pieces also, like chase scenes that went on for a while, and
well, I think for me, what made this season work, I mean, Krasinski is great in the role as Jack, and we have the team of the CIA. I think it's largely to do with James Cosmo, who he plays this Russian guy that has amazing amount of presence. But his backstory, the way they work that into the thread of the whole arc, every time he's on screen, his voice is amazing, but his acting presence, I was just like, dude.
Did you recognize him at first without his beard?
No, I didn't. Sorry, who are you? I was like, oh, I was you. I was like, that's why I like you.
I was like, you look, your voice is mildly familiar, and you look at it, and I looked it up, and I'm like, dude, you're Scottish, or you play a lot of Scottish people at least. Like,
put the beard back on.
Yeah, exactly. It was weird, but you're right. He was great. I mean, and I loved the interweaving of his story throughout the entire season, how it really built out what was going on. And I also like that we don't know where he stands. I mean, we think we know where he stands, on certain things, but sometimes actions are like,
it throws some things in the loop there. You're like, oh, well, maybe not. And then later, like, oh, well, maybe he is, which was fun. Because it kept you guessing.
Yeah. The end of the season, which I actually found out afterwards. After I had seen it, was specifically a nod to a previous like Tom Clancy novel that has been adapted into.
Oh yeah, I don't think that's a spoiler.
Not a spoiler.
They've been doing interviews all about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Hunt for Red October. This has a very. I mean, it's an homage to it. It's really
For sure.
they.
But they do it differently, which is great because then it keeps it fresh as well.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
you're not watching the movie over again, but.
Yeah, so Krasinski, in this interview I watched, he said that all of the Jack Ryan, the novels and the movies that they've had before, this TV series will nod to them, but they're totally going to do their own thing because they want to do their own thing. So when they bring it fresh, they want to keep it authentic, but also have their own voice with it. And I think they've managed to do that. I just really hope they manage to stay the course now, because season 4 is already greenlit. That because they found a formula that works. That's the best bits of 1. They've taken out the bits that don't work in 2, and now 3 is like, oh, this is gold. Really, really well done. Action, score, all of that was so good.
Well, did you hear though that season 4 is Krasinski's last?
It might be the last. Do you think they'll close it?
Well, there has been rumors and brief talk of maybe bringing Michael Pena in, not as Jack Ryan, but as another character that is already existing within the Tom Clancy Jack Ryan universe, and so it would be for those. They're just going to kill him off then. I don't know. I don't think so. I think maybe he just moves on within the CIA, and it's just kind of like. Now we're going to focus over here. My camera went all wonky. Yeah, we go, we're going to focus over here. And for people, I think that read the source material, it's going to feel very natural because this character exists in that world already and is prominent. Yeah. So it's not like some minor thing that they just brought forward just to be like, So I don't know though. From what I was reading right now, none of that is actually confirmed or has been solidified yet. It's just talks. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've forgotten what I was going to say about it. Never mind then. But yeah, it was thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely. It was fairly easy to binge too. Like that, I was engaged because of not only just all the intrigue that was there, but the action and the characters. I think. I
mean, in comparison, you do 2. I found 2 really tough to binge. We had screeners for it, and I was just like, do I have to? That's never a good sign.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling the excitement for 2. That was, I agree. So, yeah. So if you watch season 1 and you're like, yes, and you watch season 2 and you're like, go back to season 3. Don't let season 2, soil that.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
Well, should we talk about our next one?
I'm really excited to talk about this one.
My wife, when I was doing my review, because I started my intro twice, kept calling it Borderlands, and she literally jumped in and said, "You're calling it Borderlands? It's Alice in Borderlands." I was like, "Yeah, all right, fine." Alice in Borderlands Season 2. I would say that it's a complete story, but with the possibility, as with the manga, of extra stories. But we get 8 episodes, mostly an hour long. That last episode's an hour and 20. And man, did I have a good time with it. Chris?
Ruben and I were chatting back and forth online, and he's like, "Wait, where are you at?" I'm like, "Well, I'm on this episode." He goes, "Well, tell me when you get to episode 7. Like, after I watch, I'm like, "Holy crap! What the?"
Man, I shouted at the screen,
dude. Well, and as I was watching the first couple episodes, the pacing and the approach to the show was different than what I remember from season 1. And that wasn't a bad thing. It was, I think, a little different, but it needed to be because they have knocked out so many of the other cards in this game that we only have just the face cards, really, and not all of the face cards, I don't think, or maybe all of the face. It doesn't really matter. But I mean, that opening sequence really sets the tone for.
It's kind of relentless as well. It's just ongoing, and you're like, holy crap.
Well, and to set up an antagonist at the very beginning, even though there's already an antagonist, which is the game.
Yes.
You know, in this, to set up an additional antagonist at the very beginning, make it just you're unrelentless. I mean, or relentless. Unrelentless? What's the right word?
Well, I called him the Terminator.
Dude. Yeah, I think that's actually a very good description because of a certain characteristic also. But to have that threat loom through most of the season was great, because you never knew when it was going to pop up or where it would show up. But
that's how clever it is with the driving force of the story. Why do we have those characters again go into the games? Well, now we have a reason. It was like forcing them into participating in these games. We knew they were going to be harder because they're the card games, as we've seen with the blimps and the giant cards. You're like, who makes this stuff? Well, we kind of find out at the end, but all of the stuff, all the questions I think people had, why do they have plot protection? Why is they not quite dying? It kind of makes sense when you think about it at the end. I guess we can talk about spoilers in a moment, and we'll do a spoiler. Say this is the spoiler bit.
Big spoiler, yeah.
But there were new characters introduced as well that I absolutely loved. Episode 2 and 3. There's a dude, and I think that's a spoiler as well, but there's a dude that's buff. And I was jealous of his buffness, but I loved his character. I thought he's really interesting.
Oh, I don't think he is the, like, that's a spoiler to just talk that he's there.
Oh, no, just that how he is, I think, is a spoiler.
Well,
what type of clothing he's wearing.
Yeah. There was a lot of that, too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But no, well, that game, though, was amazing from a character development standpoint. Yeah. And how it sets up the rest of the trajectory. You know, especially for Arsu, it was.
Well, he had to learn some stuff about death. He had to learn to push forward at the cost of everything, but also learn that everybody else in the game is also facing the same things that them, and it's not necessarily bad guys; they're just people. And it was harsh. You know, it's like, oh, why do I get to live over them? Okay, so what's my reason for living? It's got to be better than what his character was going through at that time. He needed something to fight for, and I felt like that was, he didn't exactly get it, but it was like the learning point of.
Yeah, he started to get it right. It started to click there for him, and then he honed that understanding through a lot more of the show.
One of my favorite characters return that I wasn't expecting to return. And I guess I can say it. I don't know if it's a spoiler. A Goonie. He should have died. And that's a big part of his arc. He's just like, why didn't I die? And seeing him team up with another new character, I thought her story was really interesting. Not necessarily a nice character, but again, all the character growth through each of our characters, new ones, old ones. There's a lot of growth, and you didn't think they would have so much growth time, but because they don't need to work on what they've established already in season 1, they can just do that. They just go for it, which I loved, because you care so much more when the shit hits the fan and stuff happens to them, because you're like, no, not them, I like them, and then you're like, no, not them,
Dude, and they kept interweaving more and more depth to the characters and understanding to them, which, like
Tata.
So, yeah. Oh, golly, that was, yeah. Well, in Chishia, I think I'm probably
Chishia, our forensic scientist. No, that's Anya.
No, he was like an oncologist, or he was just a doctor.
Oh, he was a doctor. Yeah. I didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't see that coming. First off, but just him. Was that a spoiler?
I don't know. Should we do spoilers then?
Okay, let's talk spoilers. We're going to put a spoiler warning actually earlier. So
because we're doing spoilers already.
Because you just that would be unfair. Yeah. But he became one of my favorite characters in this season. I mean, I love his nonchalantness, his laid back.
He's pretty mellow, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I loved how observant he was.
But they actually spent a lot of time with his character. Like, we had a full episode with him that was dedicated, a full game with him that was dedicated to him, the scales. Oh, two. Yeah, there were two. Oh, the prison as well. Both excellent games. And yeah, so they establish him surviving the one game, and then he goes into another one. You're like, don't tell me now he's going to die after we've gone through all of that. He becomes a focus, which, like what you were saying, I didn't expect him to be the focus because he was almost a bad guy. We didn't quite know where he stood. He helped, but it was always for himself. Yeah. And even Arisu says, "You've changed," and he goes, "Have I?" Of course, then he gets shot in the stomach. So, yeah.
That episode 7 was absolutely brutal.
It was so brutal. It went from bang, 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 bang. I mean, just the fight, and then we still had more at the end. But also, the fight was excellent. It was so well choreographed. Every time I thought they were going to hit the Terminator, he somehow dodged it. Like, how well trained that guy is. And you're like, wait, who are you? But then you see the background story of him, and you're like, oh, this guy's like, his life is this. Yeah. This is what he's been doing since he was young.
Didn't it frustrate you though? Like, what's her name? I can't remember her name. With the bow and arrow, don't shoot for his chest, shoot for his head.
Yeah, like she managed to get him. Kill shot.
Yeah. So,
but I did find it funny that like they have the longest death scenes ever. You thought they were dead, and that 7 was brutal enough, but then you're like. She's crawling like to go to Aguni, and you have the other our forensic scientist Anna, and
Anna. Oh yeah, Anna. Yeah, Anna.
And it was only because of her that we found out much about the world that not being right, and that tells the audience, like the plants overgrowth, the compass going crazy, the hemispheres all stuck to together as one planetary system. That was weird.
Yeah,
but yeah, so they're all like dying on death's door. I expected them to die, but then they were like, and start doing like the death speeches. Yeah, I was like, come on, but then. Well, I'll let you speak for a bit.
When we get to the end of episode 7, and then into episode 8 in the game, the final Queen of Hearts, dude, my brain fell out of my head for a little bit there.
Well, first of all, I was like, piss off, croquet. How is this the final game?
Well, and I love,
but that's the Queen.
Though, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they tied in so much of Alice in, through the Looking Glass and Alice in Wonderland within there that even though it's just regular croquet. I mean, there's nothing weird about it. No. But the fact of her, it's just you just have to finish the game, and then the manipulation starts.
She was so good at that, and he's asking just tell us what's going on. Once I start. There's no stopping, and you're like, dude, don't do it. Don't do it. You can see.
And you have Usagi sitting there. Stop. Yeah. Shut up.
Arisu, for once in your life, listen.
And so when the first one where everything is plausible because we've seen just craziness within this world. So it's like, okay, I can buy this, where we have them in suspended animation and it really is just a game because humankind has evolved so much that they're bored.
But they put time and effort into that as well. The graphics, the story, it was all believable, her voice, and it's also all the fan theories as well. So you're just like, oh, okay, they're addressing that. Maybe that was always the part. Carry on, Chris.
And then she goes, or And you're like, what?
No! Shut up!
And then we go full Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
is it
what?
But yeah, because I thought, well, that's also plausible. Please don't be that. I hate that.
I hate that too. Yes, I don't want that. But
No.
I'm so like all of it was like, I'm buying this. Oh, now I buy this.
Yeah.
And
No,
this
exactly.
feels real too. Like,
Yeah.
None of it felt like, oh, well, this isn't true. This, you know what I mean? It's, they went.
But then some of it was true, because when she's cutting her hand, you're like, is she actually dying now? What's actually happening wherever they are if this is not reality? And you're just so tense the whole time.
Dude, it was. Well, and I was just like nail biting. And the patience. Can we just talk about the patience of the storytelling in this? For them to sit there on Arisu as he's laying just in his fetal position, kind of giving up on life, and it changes.
I had
all
enough,
of
Chris.
the scenes.
I was like, you put me through enough. Give me the answers.
Dude, that was, I mean, it was just, and Usagi is like barely hanging on, you know, and bleeding out there. And the story just says, no, we're going to make you wait. And we're going to tell it at our pace. And that was frustrating. It was nail biting, and it was like, but it was awesome as well, because think about this. And then even as we go after we get to the of the game, and then we go into after the game, I had said this in my review, that I really appreciated the amount of time that they then took to let us sit with this, to really just draw it out. Because, you know, a lot of the time we get an answer and then, okay, we're done, moving on. You might get a little bit of after, so that we can feel good about what just happened, or, you know, get some closure or something like this. This went on, though. I mean, they were like, no, we're going to let you just accept this, let it envelop you again, so that you can come and hopefully accept what you see, maybe. So.
Yeah, no, I appreciated. I mean, they went, here's an asteroid, and they're all dead. And you're like, what the crap? And then everybody had heart attacks, and those that survived had actually died and been brought back. So it's a cardiac arrest. According to the manga, they'd been dead for a minute. Each of them that had died, that was those that had been brought back. And so we see everybody's memories, or they don't have memories of that, but everybody seems to know each other, but they don't know why they know each other, which I loved. So there's like all these kind of, oh, did it happen? But that doesn't make sense, because all these other people are dead. What happened to those? Like if that was real? But of course we get to the Joker card, which is revealed on the table. It blows away, and it's like, you could just go, oh, well, that's just a little like nod to the deck of cards, and you could just go, oh, that's it then. However, in the manga, and what the fans say, is that the Joker is actually a deity, governed off like a Greek god, like a Joker deity. And he creates, whenever there is a big a world event, something explodes, he's able then to go in, create a different alternate reality that is similar to ours, give you these games, and then you have that choices. And I'm guessing you could do so many variations of this, where you have the Joker, a deity ability, this Joker minor god, and forces people for his enjoyment, not for anybody else's. But if you do choose to leave, you do get to live your life again with a sort of awareness, and you are sort of changed, because they have changed. Because if you look at the difference of Arisu and Usagi, you know, even the fact that they're talking to each other and seems like they may have a future together is a massive change in who they were before the asteroid hit.
Yes. How many times do we need to see Arasu's friends die, though? Come on.
It's so harsh. That car, dude.
I gasped out loud. I was... What?
Because we weren't shown that, right, in season 1.
No, so, because they're in the game with him.
Right.
And that's what makes episode 3 just so terrible.
Yeah.
And awesome all at the same time.
Yes, I was just like, I didn't want to see that again. Yeah. It was just
No.
harsh. What
Dude,
is the worst car wreck in a film if you've ever seen with a person? Because that just reminds me of Meet Joe Black. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
There's a meet cute of a person that Brad Pitt's character likes, and they both look at each other, but they're not looking at each other, and it's so beautiful, the romantic music, and he walks across the street, he gets hit by one car, flips in the air, and gets hit by another car, and flips in the air, and he goes, bam. And it's horrific.
Oh, I think back to that scene in Crash, which is just a disturbing movie. But when I don't know who it is it Holly Hunter or something? She's coming out of the car. It's gross.
Is that
it's
porn
disgusting. Movie? Ish, yeah, yeah. It's not one I would recommend. It's just I remember like when I think car crash, that's like one of the things that I think of.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so do you buy that theory on the deity?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I hadn't thought about it as a deity. I thought about it as just they're still in the game. Like this is the Joker is the final game, and what has happened is they've come out of their fog, they're into their reality, except it's not really reality yet. And so there's one more game to be played. So, which, like, I could see it going on.
So you think they could still be in the game, and this is all fake?
That's what I thought before I heard your interpretation.
Okay.
So now I don't really know.
That's quite a good one. Like, hey, just joking. It's not all done yet.
Yeah, because you don't think about the Joker as a card, really. Typically, like normally you set that aside, but either way, I mean, the show wraps up very satisfyingly. Yeah. So if this was the end of it, I'm totally good. Like, absolutely. I don't feel like, dude, you left stuff hanging or anything else. But if they also wanted to continue on a little bit, or even like you said, like go in a completely different direction now with different games, different environment or anything else.
Imagine a Spanish version or a German version, the Joker deity storyline, bringing in different characters with an earthquake or, something like that.
I think you'd have to do something really different, though, just because when I think about the money heist, joint economic
that doesn't
area or
whatever
so
I wouldn't want them to recreate the story. It'd have to be their own story, but games still works as a thing to contain it.
Yeah, and the simplicity of the games, I think, is what really makes this work well.
Especially season 2. Yeah.
Dude, they're simple games with then horrifying consequences. Yes, exactly.
I mean, Tag, for example.
The mind games that went into that, too.
Yeah. I love the filming of that one as well, actually. I thought it was really well done.
Top down.
The rig. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've spoken at length about that. The other thing I watched this week, which we're not finished yet, but there's 10 episodes. They're hour long each. It's on Paramount Plus, and we just started on Sunday. We've watched we've watched the first 6. So we just started on Sunday, so it shows you how much we're invested. But Let the Right One In, because I remember we were talked about, like, can it be as good as the films? Like, what they've done, they've taken the core story of Let the Right One In, but then they've given us so much more story that's not in the movie at all. Okay. So they've given it. There's new story, new characters. So think of it as an adaptation that's different to the movies.
Okay.
And we loved it. It's really tense, but you like the characters. You don't think of them as the good guys really, because what they have to do in order for the vampire to survive is horrible. Yeah. It's the same consequences, but at the same time, you understand. I think it's fairly good. I don't know if you'll like it, Chris, because you didn't like The Witcher, so.
Well, and I think the biggest thing, and I'm probably just going to have to let myself have a good bit of distance, is because I really, really enjoy Let the Right One In.
Which version?
But I'm not
Because there's an American version that's actually pretty good, but the original one is much better.
See, I'm not a fan of the American version. I know it's not terrible, and the actors, I mean, they've got what, Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah.
I see. I'm just not a fan, and I think that always comes back to stop doing an American remake. You had a non-English version that was phenomenal. Leave it alone.
Great. Yeah.
You know, and they do that just for dumb American audiences. And if I just pissed off half the country, well, whatever.
I would say give this one a chance because I was surprised. It's got an air of quality about it, which I think, yeah.
Okay, I'll still give it some time because I just watched Let the Right One In October. Yeah,
right.
So I want to. Yeah, it's too fresh for me. But okay, cool. Shall we move on to our special parts?
Yeah.
That sounded weird and dirty. Even worse with the visual. Luckily on the audio, nobody can see what's going on. Let's each talk about our Christmas movie that we want to just talk about, and then we'll dive into the real special. How about that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So for my movie, it's a relatively newer one. I was looking forward to it when it was announced and especially because I couldn't find it in the U.S. It's a UK production, and it was so stinking hard to find it. And then when it came out in the U.S., it was like very, very, very limited. Like I think one theater, like 30 miles away from me, was playing it one day. It was ridiculous, and so I didn't get to see it until it came to like on demand type thing.
Right.
And I rented it, and so it's good for 48 hours. And I think if I remember correctly, I watched it 9 times in 48 hours.
What? Are you okay?
No. I listen to the soundtrack all year long because it makes me happy. It's a musical, and it is Christmas, and it is romance, and it is zombies. And it is Anna and the Apocalypse. Wow. And have you seen this yet?
I don't like it, Chris.
Fair enough. That's totally good. For me,
which I find hilarious.
It's so happy for me. I mean, I love, like, there's not happy, like, because there is dourness to it, and there's
before you carry on, I've only watched 15 minutes of it. I switched it off at the 15-minute mark, so maybe I'll need to go back and give it time, because maybe I'll love it, but maybe it takes time to get into it.
Maybe the teenage angst in it is actually worked well because of the songs. And the songs are like spot on.
Because this is American, right?
No, it's British.
Oh, it's British. Okay, well,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
It like one of the songs is Hollywood Ending, and they talk about how, I mean, it's so on the nose and it's so self-aware, and yet it totally works about just how nobody tells you that there's no Hollywood ending. You know, things don't work out like in the books, the movies, the songs. And so it's really good. The songs, I think, are phenomenal. That's really where this shines. There's funny bits within there. There's the stuff that like happens in the background as characters are moving along, especially because we go a decent chunk of the movie before we really see any zombies. And then when we do, the characters are not necessarily aware of them at that moment. And so it's kind of that obliviousness as a character is singing this really happy song and dance number, and they're moving along, and there's chaos and carnage happening in the background, and just people running and screaming, and getting eaten and stuff like that. It's definitely emotional. I mean, yeah, there's love, there's unrequited love, there's sacrifice, there's friendship. Do
you generally like musicals? Are you into the musical?
I do enjoy yeah, it's actually very funny. We were talking about this with my family, my daughter-in-law, because I'm really a conundrum. Like if you were to look at like I love action movies, And I love all kinds of movies, really. But like, if you were to look at my Spotify playlist, you would not know what to do with me, because I have like hardcore metal on there, and then like I have a playlist dedicated to almost all Kelly Clarkson, Pink, and Demi Lovato. So it's just like this girl pop, and then I have soundtracks. I mean, I'm all over the place. And then I have hair metal, like, you know.
I don't even know what that is.
That's like Motley Crue and Poison and Guns N' Roses.
Is it actually called hair metal?
Well, I would call it now butt rock. But
okay,
you know, whatever. I mean, because it was from like the late '80s into the mid '90s. There, you know, it's very eclectic, but you wouldn't know what to do with me. And Spotify doesn't know what to do with me, because I love a lot of punk also, and pop punk, and it doesn't really matter. The point is, yes, I do really enjoy musicals for the most part.
Okay.
So
I wouldn't have guessed that about you.
This one ticked so many boxes because it's comedy, it's action, it's romance, and then it's musical and zombies. I mean, come on.
So is this in your top 3 musicals then?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know about that. I would have to. I mean,
because if you watch it 10 times, like in a row,
I mean, it's probably up there, but like Les Miserables.
That would probably be my number 1 musical.
Greatest Showman, though. Like I literally just watched this the other day. Because I listen to the soundtrack all the time.
See, I can't watch The Greatest Showman because I know the real story. So I'm like,
no. See, yeah, I don't care. I just
no. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's good.
Exactly. See, there you go. So it's I don't know where I would rank it. I would have to sit down and like list a lot of the musicals just to figure out where it is. I mean, is it something that I absolutely enjoy? Hands down, totally. So,
interesting. Okay, Little Shop of Horrors.
Dude,
because we were just talking about that yesterday. One of I'm not a huge musical fan, but that one, love it. It's so good.
Suddenly Seymour is like one of my favorite songs.
So good.
The melody within there and the harmonies that they bring, and then her voice. She speaks in a very squeaky voice, but her singing is like, whoa.
But also the cast of their movie is incredible.
Every
time I start, like, that's definitely one of those. Oh, it's you.
so good. Yeah, I remember I was in, where was that? Like 85, 86, something like that. So yeah, going into junior high-ish, there, maybe still elementary school, but
nice.
I saw that in the theater. I loved it.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. I'm going to make a concerted effort. My camera just switched on off. Okay, I'm going to make a concerted effort to watch that. If you watch the one I'm going to talk about, like, I'm going to watch Anna and the Apocalypse. Okay. So my Christmas movie. Unless you have more to say about Anna and the Apocalypse.
I don't. Nope. You're
sure?
good to go to talk about yours. Yeah.
Are you sure? You're sure?
I'm sure.
As my friends used to say, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Because my surname is Shaw, and they used to tease me. Also, if you come from a Christian household, don't build your house on the sandy lane or near the shores. Yeah. Anyways, mine is in the depths of the Koravanturi Mountains, 486 meters deep, lies the closest ever guarded secret of Christmas. The time has come to dig it up. This Christmas, everyone will believe in Santa Claus.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Nice. This is a Finnish film.
Ooh.
Yep.
Intrigued already.
And it's not a normal Santa. It's more akin to a horror. Okay. This is called Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale.
I've heard of this.
Dude, you gotta watch this film. It's so good. It's taking the classic story of where we get some of our fables, like if you're naughty, you get a lump of coal in your stocking, right? It's taking that, but bringing that to life. And you get a few of Santa's little helpers, which are creepy as heck. Not quite on the scale of what we're going to talk about in our Patreon video, which is Krampus. But this one, there's a mixture of, because kids are a couple of kids are at the forefront of the survival adventure that you go on. But you have this eclectic group. You have this one kid who's just excellent. You want him to survive. Oni Tamali is Petri Kotoi. Like I'm going to decimate all the names because obviously they're nuts. Anyway, there's a number of elves that aren't friendly elves as well. It takes the Christmas story that you know, and then it just flips it on its head. So it's an unearthed archaeological dig. Kid starts disappearing, and a leading boy and his father try to capture Santa with the help of others because they think that it's the Santa, and it's so good, man. I just can't stop thinking about it. When you watch it, you're like, yeah, but what does that mean about the lore of Santa? How does that work now? When you look back at the original lore of Santa anyway, you start going, whoa, there. This is way darker than I.
Well, and even just think that some stranger sneaks into your house while you are sleeping. Some
dude dressed in a suit, originally, which was green or more, which was more like combat colors, like they would blend in really well. Eating your stuff, giving your kids presents, like that's a shotgun offense, right?
Yeah, exactly. So is it violent, or is it more just
no, it's violent.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
What do they class it as? Let me just see. It's it's classed as a Christmas movie.
Okay.
But
it has Santa, so
yeah, it's adventure, fantasy, horror.
Cool.
That's what it is. Snowmobiles, ice, fiendish, young kids, guys like wanting to trap Santa. It's that sort of thing. They're gonna catch Santa, lure him in because he's not normal. He's wrong.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really
nice. Good. Okay. I do need to check that out. I think I have it on my. I think it. At one point, it was available on Prime here in the U.S., and so I think I have it on one of my lists. So
okay. Well, maybe it'll still be there.
Maybe, yeah, I'll have to look it up. But yes, okay.
Should we talk about another horror film?
Dude, okay. So let's set the stage here. When we were discussing what we wanted to do for our Christmas special, I had the genius idea. Of
this is on you, Chris.
I say that very sarcastically because I'm not saying this was a smart move at all. I've never seen this. This was my first time seeing this. Was this your first time seeing it?
I don't know that I've seen it now. My brain is already trying to delete files.
Delete it? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is available in several forms on YouTube.
Yeah.
But we watched from 1978, the classic that was shown only once, and then the George Lucas threatened to find all of the copies and destroy them.
I understand.
But we watched, totally, a Star Wars holiday special. Okay, so let me ask you this before we dive into it. If you could use one word to describe what you watched, what would that be?
I'm going to think of a descriptive word. Broken. I think that is the best way to describe it.
Okay. My word is atrocious.
Yeah, atrocious was a good word. But the more... I used to love Chewie's sound. But after this...
Dude.
Whatever this was, I hate it. I hate it.
We have... So that we have the opening sequence with Han and Chewie. And then we have almost 12 minutes. 12 minutes of grunting.
There's no dialogue. There's not even subtitles.
There's nothing of Chewie's wife, dad, and son moving around in this crappily looking house. The setting is
The costumes aren't even good for the new Chewbacca's. They're like weird hand puppet, and the grandfather or his dad is his dad. Yeah, doesn't even speak right. He just kind of grunts and shouts in horrible noises, and the little kid is like, it's not even. It's terrible
gibberish.
Pengu. You do know Pengu? Yeah, it's just. There's a penguin that speaks in noises here in the UK, very popular, and he goes. At least you get an understanding of what's going on, and this is just utter nonsense,
dude. Like, it's hard to believe, or it's not hard to believe why it was only showed once. When we first see Mark Hamill, the amount of makeup that they have caked on that man's face.
I wasn't even sure it was them. They said it was them, but sometimes I looked at them as like, is that really you?
Dude, that was... okay, so Diane Carroll, the singer, she has a segment in there.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay, so this is a family holiday show. Yeah. I don't know if you were listening to the dialogue and stuff. Don't even look at her dress yet. The words that she is using, and it was so risque. And I looked over at my wife and I'm like, did they just say that? And she's like, yep.
They did just say that, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's like skirting the censors and being very inappropriate all at the same time. I mean, it was wow.
I think those were actually the best moments, to be honest. The singing was probably the best moments. I was trying to find things. I was like, okay, what's good? What is good about this? And I thought, okay, she sings. She's got talent. She can actually sing. There was the weird electric band.
Oh, dude, Jefferson Starship. Except, come on, they needed some auto tune. Because that was just it. I was like, ugh, and it went on for a long time. And then we had
like a half an hour segment of animation, which is, I think I laughed so much at the designs.
That was the best part, though, for me. But Chewie, okay, dude, I wrote down that Chewie looks like a chipmunk or an otter mixed with Cthulhu. Like if you see the hairs at the bottom.
It's so weird. Like, what were they actually high when they were designing those? Because that's all. Even what they were doing to R2 to make him move, they kind of distorted the screen and he just went wrong. I'm like, what is this animation? Like, if you compare it to the animations we had that came out around then, there was some amazing stuff. You have Star Wars money. You have no right to be in this bad.
Fun fact, this is the first time we see Boba Fett.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
So this is, and that actually comes about because George Lucas, while he was barely involved in this at all, he more so had like some consulting meetings at the very beginning. He did not sign off on this final project. He hated it. But he had said you should include Boba Fett. And they kept that part. And then also Luke
Skywalker, he has no force then in the animation because he couldn't tell that Boba Fett was like the guy that was gonna basically have him for breakfast. He had no force sensitive at all. He was like, he's a friend. I think he could be a friend. And R2 and C3PO are like, sometimes a friend is not exactly what you think it is.
Yeah, it's out of order because he's so flying an X-wing, or a Y-wing. So,
there was no continuity into the world, the sets, the people, what was going on.
Okay, dude, it was just and there's so much time that's wasted in this where characters are just wandering around the screen.
Why do they spend so much time doing nothing?
I mean, minutes, like no dialogue, no nothing. It's like they don't know what to do, but they have time to fill.
The cooking show was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
Worst.
Well, and such a waste of talent with Harvey Korman. I mean,
this is like one of those projects that someone ropes you into. They give you a decent paycheck and they say, please, can you do this as a special? You know, it'll be fine. It won't be that bad. Then they give you minimal dialogue in like script, like you can just ad lib a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get to set and they say, okay, you're rolling, just do stuff. And that's literally what they had to do. And there was nothing for them to do.
No, there was nothing for them to do. Yeah, the story, I don't even know what the story was, really. I mean, so Chewie's trying to get home dude, when B. Arthur is singing, which first off, that was almost too much for me. But was that Greedo that she was dancing with, or was that just another of his species? Because at this point, he should be dead.
Well, as we found out, there is... sorry, there's bugs flying about. No. Again. Well, as we found out, there's no timeline consistency, so it could well be Greedo. True.
Yeah, it was just, oh, goodness sake.
All right. The best bit was hearing James Earl Jones's voice. Hands down.
Okay, something that I noticed though, and I'm gonna have to actually pay attention to it in the Star Wars movies now, but because I wasn't looking when he first started speaking, if you listen to the, it's happening over him speaking.
Oh, that's interesting. You can't do that at the same time. That doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work at all. Is the machine
separate from you?
I guess, but wouldn't it? But how are you exhaling while it's inhaling? Yeah, I don't know.
Like Jack Black with inward singing. Hello, in there. Yeah, maybe
exactly.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, so like I've been speaking to you off camera about like the hate comments from one review, and then you not liking something, and then I watched this. That was the third thing. Yeah, so it was like the
this
trilogy.
Was just a nail in the coffin. Of
Why are you actively trying to punish me for something that I did? Why, Chris?
I'm trying to ruin Ruben's holiday. Dude, this was so you can find this on YouTube. We watched the one. It said like best version or something like that. I don't know. I'll put the link in the description in case you want to watch it. It is whoa. I did like at the very beginning, it talks about how the Incredible Hulk would not be shown tonight because we're having a special presentation.
Oh man, that would have been way better.
Well, and it went from Wonder Woman too. So I think Wonder Woman had just finished, and it was then going to say that we're not going to watch. I was like, dang it, that's unfortunate because this is like 90 minutes of, or actually I think the whole runtime is 2 hours. Yeah, well, and apparently. The animated part is on Disney Plus now, or it was for a while. Like they took that out because apparently it's canon.
No, it can't be.
And this special with Chewie's wife, son, dad, all of that, canon. From what I was reading online. So I don't. Yeah, whatever. It's terrible though. It's honestly one of the worst things that I've ever seen. Like it footage, is one of the creativity, all of that is horrible. It's an abysmal
way to spend
time. It makes
Sharknado look great.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
dude, I would. Yeah. Remember we watched Brazen on Netflix with Alyssa Milano at the beginning of 2022?
You'd rather watch that?
I would watch that 5 times in a row.
Oh no. Yeah, okay. Well, that's saying something.
Yeah. This is utter poo.
Yeah, so that's your fault. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, well, hey, it was something we've never seen and we'll never see again.
No, I that is deleted from my history on YouTube. I don't want any similar recommendations because what the hell? What will I get?
Dude, the algorithm is going to be all jacked up for me. Actually, no, I watched it on my wife's account on our TV. That's going to be awesome. She's going to get all kinds of weird recommendations now.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Is there any entertainment news you'd like to talk about while we're here?
The only thing I have is that Black Adam 2 is not happening, at least for a while.
The Rock put out his notice, didn't he, saying, sorry guys, thanks for being with me, but I spoke with James Gunn and I'm not going to come back at least anytime soon.
Yeah, and that was, the headlines were a little deceiving.
Yes, they were.
That they were like Black Adam 2 gone. And it's like, no, that's not what was said. James Gunn said not this first chapter of DC.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're taking a moment to reboot it, whatever. And I know, you know what? Hey, question the motives, question the decisions, fine. But at least they're putting a game plan together now. And it doesn't mean, even in the words that James Gunn put out, it doesn't mean that Black Adam is gone. It just means that in this, right this second, the first phase, even though they're calling it a chapter, is not going to have Black Adam again. Okay, fine. No big deal, right?
Yeah, absolutely not.
So, yeah.
Still, you need to celebrate what you got. If you're a big fan of Black Adam, enjoy the Black Adam movie. Yeah. It's like everybody, they're talking about, well, I'm not going to go watch Shazam 2. Are you kidding? I'm going to be first in line to watch Shazam 2. I love those characters. I don't care that we probably won't get more from them. I want to celebrate what they've created in this heroic world. It doesn't need to be a part of the DC universe. We have a little bit of connection from the first film, and then we have the family doing their thing. Come on.
And dude, it's Zachary Levi.
Exactly. He's awesome.
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah. This could be a standalone movie. I don't care. I'm going and gonna enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you're looking forward to over this Christmas period? Of the, like, what's coming?
No, not really. I mean, there's a couple of movies coming out right after Christmas, between Christmas, or a couple of just content really coming out between Christmas and New Year's, and even into that first week of New Year's that I'm kind of looking forward to. I mean, we've got that movie Megan hitting theaters, which I think some of these horror releases, the studios are actually being smart about it, because there's not a lot of competition at the beginning of the year for anything. Like, it doesn't matter the genre of movie. And if you can have a quality horror movie, because there's a dearth of nothing going on, people, they'll go and see it. You know what I mean? And it becomes this hit and it doesn't have to worry about the competition. There's a show coming out on Netflix called Treason. I don't know anything about it.
Have you seen any of it yet?
Screeners for it? I can't get screeners for it. So
okay.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode coming off of Jack Ryan, and I switched off, so I'll have to go back to it.
Okay.
The pacing was just
I'm not as
flipping slow, so I was like,
okay.
But I mean, then again, I like The Witcher, and you didn't, so maybe we just like different things, Chris.
That's not allowed. We're not allowed to have different opinions. and still be cordial to each other and be friends.
That can't happen. That's not how the world works.
How about you? Anything that you're like? Yeah.
Well, like in the middle of January, there is that 90s show. I'm excited to see what they're doing with that. It's the same parents.
Yeah.
But with like a new younger cast in the same house, well, at least the same set. And I was a big fan of just putting a random episode on of that 70s show and eating dinner. So I'm interested to see what they do with that. Vinland Saga on the 9th of January on Netflix. It's not a Netflix original, but they have all the new episodes coming. Fans will be chomping at the bit to watch these new episodes, including me. If you're a big fan of the Vikings, like fairly accurate anime on Vikings. I mean, it's still anime, so like embellished characters doing ridiculous stuff, but on the history side it's pretty close to what they believe happened, but then put in the anime story. So it's just really fun. Long time waiting for that to come. And I think fairly soon we've got the Christian Bale movie with Gillian Anderson, the Pale Blue Eye.
I think first week of January.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So first week of January is fairly soon, right? Because it's Christmas now. A few days' time.
Yeah.
I think people will like White Noise. I'm interested to see what people think of that. There is a South Korean show called The Glory.
I have 6 episodes of the 8.
Okay, cool. Yeah. which I haven't gotten into yet, but I'm interested to see. Another drama. It looks quite dark, but quite good. I haven't yet started watching Kaleidoscope.
I haven't either yet.
Because I'm worried about whether it's going to be good or crap. It feels like it could be gimmicky. But
well, I think that's probably part of the marketing that they're going for, like that it is gimmicky. So, but is it going to work? I think really that's and I have to be cognizant to write down the order in which I watch it, so that, like, especially you and I can even compare notes, because we probably will watch it in different orders. And
yeah, that would be really interesting. So if we compare our notes as to what number and what that was like for us, I think that's going to be really interesting. One that I think has an eclectic. I think there's a core demographic of people that will watch this, but we had season 1 of The Rise of the Empire's Ottoman. And there's season 2 coming out called Mehmed versus Vlad. So I'm very interested in that one because I've always loved the Vlad storyline, however, but this is more, so it's docudrama. So you have like people doing like interviews, like people that are very much like big in their field, and then they'll recreate sequences, which is quite good. Only if you're into that, would you like it?
Netflix did a pirate series like that, which I thought was okay. It was kind of interesting. Okay. There was another one that just came out recently. It was Blood, Sex, and Royalty, or Blood, Sex, and Royals, something like that. And it was the same thing. I wasn't into that at the beginning, so I don't know. Maybe I might go back to it. Is the Rise of the first one, the Ottoman thing, is it good? I mean, did you see it? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it is. It's different. I didn't love it, but mostly everybody that did watch it loved it. So yeah, it was fairly popular. So I might give that a go. One thing I'm looking forward to massively is a short, like little skits anime called The Way of the House Husband. Which is one of the best things I've ever seen in anime. It's so stupid. It's basically a guy that used to be like the head of the Yakuza, but now has become a house husband. And he's so intense, but he's really good at cleaning. It's hilarious. It's so funny. Yeah.
Nice. Right on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, happy holidays to everybody. We hope that you're just having some great downtime with family, with friends, with whatever, however you celebrate, or if you do not celebrate, either way, totally great. We thank you for your time, for just all your support, for checking us out. Whether this is your first time or your 40th time, that's awesome.
Or your last
we appreciate it. Well, hopefully not the last time. Just come on. It's Ruben eats his balls. That's
oh wow.
Oh goodness. Okay, well, on that note, please like, share, subscribe. Ruben with the Ruby Tuesday, me, Chris, with Movies and Munchies. You could always tweet at us at Best We Watched. If you want to check out like the show when you're on the go and you don't want to pull up YouTube, you can check us out on podcasts. We're basically everywhere that podcasts are available. And if you do happen to go there and listen to us, if you could rate and review the show, that would be outstanding. Don't forget, too, that we have a Patreon opportunity with a couple different levels of support, which give you different levels of access. One where you can even request some customized stuff from us, some reviews and things like that. So head over to patreon.com/thebeardedones and see what that's all about. With that, we are having a New Year's special coming up on New Year's Day, which Chris is still editing part of it, and then Ruben's going to be editing part of that. But it is outstanding. Ruben he wrote a D&D style one-shot adventure, and a bunch of noobs playing this and having a blast. So we hope that you enjoy that. And with that, then we will see you the second week, the 8th.
Yeah.
I don't know. The
2023
of 2023. Holy crap.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Already.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. We'll see you later. Okay. Take care.
Toodles.